ingenious people.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't really innovative people.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to grad school, and one of the interesting things I learned about grad school is that they said the most intelligent people are creative people. And so when I took the test for grad school, I scored in the top 2%.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, "Yeah, we need you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come in this IT program." You know, and then at the time, you know, the IT bubble, you know, everybody was trying to get into IT and get into programming and all that. You know, they were telling you can get paid. And then I got into it. I was doing it. It was coding and stuff, and I absolutely hated it.
Really?
I hated it.
Wow.
And I spent a year in it, and then one day I said, forget this. I just closed the book. Bam! That's it. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do my art.
Did you quit? You walk out?
Yeah.
Or you stopped working?
Well, I didn't stop working. But my focus wasn't even on my career in business anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was about doing art.
Mm-hmm.
It was a job. I went and did my job every day. I got paid, whatever. I went, man, I'm going to do some art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, art became high.
Clock in, clock out, and then art.
Yeah, art, yeah. And clock out early.
And so, what did you want to say with your art? What was your focus? What did you want to do?
Well, you know, my theme is you'll see a lot of times you'll see ART, and I really believe that art is not just imitating life. I view art as, you know, alternating reality transformation.
Mm-hmm.
You change what you see every day. Something may influence you, but art takes it to another surreal and dimensional level. You know, it takes people out of reality. Mm-hmm. It transforms them. So my theme, like, you know, is passion, power, and perpetuity. It's passion when you do your art. It's power, because art is power. Mm-hmm. Because it persuades people and influences people. Mm-hmm. And then it's perpetual. It's eternal. You know, art non-stop. Imagination is non-stop.
Right.
Yeah, so I had to be a part of that. And then I like stuff, if you ever notice, like my stuff has a lot of color and pop.
Yes.
Intensity.
Detail.
Yeah.
Texture.
Yeah, exactly. I like things that, and I like to create a motif where your eye is constantly moving. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't stand things just a central focal point, and then you look at it, and that's focal, and then it just stops. I want you to look at the painting, come back later, and see something else interesting in that. You know, the texture, or there's a particular idea or something. Because, you know, one lady was like, I bought a painting from you, and I never noticed you had like these names and words in the background. Uh-huh. But you can't see it unless you write up on a painting. And she said, what did it mean? It was R8. I said, it's called Radical 8. The name of the painting is Radical 8. And she was like, why Radical 8? I said, well, you got to understand that even numbers are called radicals.
Okay.
And it that is the 8th one in that series. Mm. So it creates some more interest, because she had the painting for like 3 months and she never noticed it. Mm. And so that's why you see a lot of detail, a lot of texture in my paintings.
So you put some message.
Yeah, some spin in. Yeah, something interesting.
Yeah. So, okay, now, you said something interesting, though. You said you stopped dealing with your art after high school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then 15 years later, you pick it back up.
Yeah.
But your art looks like you've been painting all along. Like, I mean, you got guitars, you got cellos, piano keys, women singing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm looking at your abstract, your music series. Mm-hmm. And there's a blue lady looking like it's in the window, but the window has these bars, which looks like the lines for where the music notes go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There has to have been, I'm saying, okay, there has to have been some kind of training or some type of practice. Or
that's what it is. That's what it is. You put into practice. A lot of times you're hit with a ingenuity. Mm-hmm. Like, all of a sudden an idea pop in your head. And you're like, okay, where can I take this? What I'm going to do with this idea?
But did you practice guitar drawing before you did the guitar pieces?
No.
And you just painted it.
Yeah.
And there's guitars there, flowing guitars.
Because you can draw anything. If it exists, you can draw it. If it doesn't exist, you can draw it.
Did you keep up with your drawing techniques or practice during those 15 years where you weren't painting?
What do you mean by keep up?
Like every now and then, keep a sketchbook and draw something.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say I quit, I quit like taking it serious. Like I was seriously into art, and then I wasn't seriously into it. So even though those 15 years where I wasn't really showing my art, I wasn't doing in-depth paintings, anything like that, I was still doing things, because you have that in you. But at the same time, my dad was such an influence on me. I was like, well, I got this art thing, but he don't want me to do anything with this. So I'm not gonna do anything. Can I ever make money at it or anything like that? Is anybody gonna be even interested in my art? Who's gonna like my art?
And so those feelings were not greater than that unhappiness with your job.
They're about equal. They're about equal.
Equal, but eventually, those feelings about your job, you had to get rid of that.
Yeah. I was dying. I told my mom that. My mom was like, "You got to get back to what you love. What is it that you love?"
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mom was a counter. She was a nemesis to my dad. Because she was like, you know what? Forget what your dad says. You need to get back to what you love. Yeah.
You sat down and talked to your mom about art.
No, I didn't even talk to her.
No.
She came to me.
What?
Yeah, she came to me. She said, why are you sitting on your talent? You obviously unhappy. Moms can read you. They know when you're unhappy. And she was like, you need to do what you like doing.
So what was the first thing you did? After you say, so you clock in, clock out, and now I'm doing art. What are you doing?
The first thing I did, let me think. Oh man, that's I went back to doing the fantasy stuff.
Spaceships.
Yeah, spaceships.
Aliens in
Yeah. Because at the time I was I was a comic book collector. I was a Star Trek nerd, man. I love Star Trek.
Love ya?
Yeah, I love Star Trek.
Star Trek is cool.
Yeah, I love Star Trek, and started doing those. I'm trying to how did it progress? I don't know. It's like when I was working, and this is the biggest thing that happened. The biggest thing that happened, I worked for this corporation that was like stifling, and had some issues with them. But I wound up getting a severance pay, So all of a sudden I got this influx of money, and I said, what am I going to do with this while I try to, find work? So what I did is I took a lot of it, went and just bought a whole bunch of canvases, paints, markers, pencils, and just stocked up and just started doing stuff. Whatever I felt like doing. As an artist, I don't like to be pigeonholed. And so when people like, well, what are you going to paint? What are you going to do? I'm going to paint whatever comes to my mind. And then, you mentioned the guitars and stuff like that. And so I always liked music. I was like, I'm going to do some music paintings. Okay? No particular person that's influenced me. Just took some materials and like put it on canvas and like, let's see how it comes out.
What do you get out of that?
Oh man, it's like rhythm to the heart. It's like soul. It's love. To me, music is such a part because music is actual audible art to the ears and the brain. It's something about music that puts you in the mood to even create more art. So if you notice, a lot of my signature stuff is music, and the music led me into doing other stuff. And then whenever someone says like, "Oh, you know what? You're really good with color. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" I said, "Well, let's see if I can do it. I like the challenge of it." I like the challenge of it. And so I came up with this thing I call Formula 55.
Okay.
The Formula 55 has it's all the aspects of art. Like you have line, color, texture, form, and shape on one hand. Then you have innovation, ingenuity, nuance, knowledge, and creativity on the other hand.
Where did you come up with this stuff? Did you learn this somewhere?
No.
Because that's really good. You need to write that down. I need to write it down.
Oh, it is. It is. It's on my website.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, even my studio was named Stylistic 55.
Okay, hold on. Let me get a... So the first 5 is what?
Line.
Line.
Line. Color. Shape. Form. Yeah. And texture.
And the other 5 are?
Innovation. Ingenuity. Nuance. Knowledge. And creativity. That's the formula, man.
And this is what goes into your art.
Yeah.
And do you look for these things when you sit down and start painting, or do you look for these things before you start painting, thinking about what you're going to paint, or are you painting and say, it's missing nuance? I'm gonna add that in.
Yep, that's right. I think I come up with a subject matter, and then I say, how can I incorporate those 10 things into the subject matter?
And you tell a story.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the at your fantasy stuff. I don't see that one with the woman in the spaceship up here, but I'm sure you'll get up. You'll get to putting it up soon. I see the moon man kissing the black lady.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the story there? Moonlight Passion.
Yeah. That's a lady who, she loves the moon. She has this infinity for the moon, and she imagined the moon came down one day and kissed her. It came from my, I had an ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance really. Her name was Lavonde, and for some reason she liked the moon, and she used to like to, kiss in the moonlight. So I incorporated her into a painting about a story of a lady who imagined the moon coming down and kissing her, and she's being swooned by the moon.
Yeah. Very cool. Very good. I like that. We have a flower lady coming out the pot.
Yeah.
Red pot.
Yeah. Grace underwater.
Yes. And she's crying. Or no, she's being watered.
She's being watered. Yeah. But see, if you notice what she's doing, she escaped the pot to go get the water. Yeah, so she's like, she's sitting there, and she needed to be watered.
But the water was not coming to her.
The water was not coming to her. So you gotta understand, it was Grace underwater. So it's like a lot of ladies, what they try to do, they try to find love, and they leave their comfortability, and that's what she did. She left her pot. She broke out to go get that love in the water. Yeah, I get it. Okay. So if you listen to, a lot of ladies are like, listen. If you listen to what they're saying, because ladies are really creatures of love.
Yeah.
And that's why I named her Grace.
Okay. So I'm looking at the butterfly people. It's fusion of love.
Yeah. There goes the love thing again. You see how the lady is like falling into his arms and he's holding her.
And then she's dematerializing or something. There's like a DNA coil.
Yeah.
On the bottom right.
Yeah.
You got a flower and leaves, but there's some floating symbols. Two circles, all kinds of floating symbols everywhere, including the square and circles. Don't know what that means. Looks like some math stuff.
Yeah, it's dimensional stuff, man. I kind of got that idea from reading Doctor Strange.
Okay.
You ever see how Doctor Strange, when he goes into that dimensional world, ethereal world, and it has all these crazy like floating asteroids, floating structures and things like that. So